Hi, everybody. First and foremost, I want to give glory to God. I'm coming here today to do this short video, which is a testament and self help, and also just to share information about hidden exposures and a little bit of what I'm dealing with. Um, you have to excuse me if I lick my lips. One of my symptoms is dry mouth or dry lips. I always feel like my lips are dry. I'm always putting chapstick on them. That's one of my symptoms. I don't know if it'll go away, but I catch myself doing that every now and then. So, sometimes I do it and I don't even know I'm doing it. So, y'all have to excuse me on that. But I just want to bring more awareness to what I'm dealing with and what a lot of people are dealing with, which is hidden exposures. We all know when you see water damage or when you get water damage in your house that you need to immediately stop the leak and repair it before it gets worse. A lot of homeowners and business owners, because of the money, the cost that it would take to repair it the right way, they don't do it, which puts the renters or the workers, puts their health at risk. And that's what happened to me. This facility still has water damage to this day. From 2004 when it was built, with the faulty roof, the flat roof that leaks. Then the way the patient showers were built, they didn't have the pans underneath them, so the water dripped through the facility from upstairs to different rooms downstairs. Now, I have pictures that I want to show. Excuse me, I did have them in order. Let's see. When you see stuff like this, stained ceiling tiles, when you look up and see a ceiling tile and you see this, I just want you to know that the exposure has already started and toxins have been emitted and you are being exposed to those toxins. Whether it's mold spores or whatever, you are exposed when you see that. If this situation is not cleared up within 24 to 48 hours and those ceiling tiles are changed, it's too late. You're exposed. So after years of exposure, for me, from 2004 to 2017, when my doctor took me off work for my 30 plus symptoms, I didn't know. I knew that it had to be from the water damage because with me, I saw like 19 different specialists in 2 years trying to find out what was wrong with me. And, each doctor, each specialist would treat me for one thing. Oh, you have acid reflux. And I'm like, well, what about the other 33 symptoms? Oh, no, you have asthma. Okay, well, what about the other 33 symptoms? And, I even went as far as to fly to the National Treatment Center for Environmental Disease, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, in 2016. I went on Mother's Day because my appointment was for that Monday. So my kids, we went out to dinner for Mother's Day that Saturday. So Sunday, I'm getting ready to leave. My daughter's driving me to the airport and she was like, "Ma, you act like you going on vacation. You are so happy. What is up?" And I'm thinking like, oh God, finally I'm gonna get a diagnosis and a prognosis, because I had been so sick. What many of you do not know is I have a very stressful job. My job working with the mentally and criminally insane for 17 years, where on a daily basis I was called everything but my name, Patricia. I was assaulted a few times. I was almost pushed down the stairs. I had patients throwing chairs at me. And a lot of this was in the last few years during my sickness. You know, I had so much going on. I had memory loss. I was having low oxygen levels. My eyesight is messed up. That's still one of the symptoms that I have. I still have a little blurry vision. But to go from 30 something symptoms down to less than 5, I praise God. I'll take it, you know. I am damaged, but I'm not done for, and I'm not claiming that. I believe that God brought me to this because He know I will get through it. He know I can, and I consider myself a vessel. I'm a testimony, and I just want to help as many people as I can by shedding light to this so others won't have to suffer the way I did. And there's many more out there that are going through the same thing. I have found people in mold support groups that are dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with, how their family members and friends have turned their back on them or think they're crazy. Because that's the first thing, when doctors can't pinpoint your illness or what's going on with you, they send you to a psychiatrist because they're going to say it's all in your head. And the first thing they're going to do is put you on psychotropic medication, which in our condition would only hurt us, because when you're dealing with mold exposure, when you got toxins growing inside you and feeding on you, you got to be very careful, because medication makes those toxins grow, plus the foods you eat makes those toxins grow. And so I have learned so much through my journey to recovery that I just want to share the information. I am on a very strict diet. I have to avoid certain things because, like I said, they make toxins grow. So I have to avoid like sugar. I have to avoid yeast. I have to avoid wheat. I have to avoid corn. I have to avoid nightshade vegetables. I have to avoid alcohol. The list goes on and on. I have to be aware of my surroundings. And when I say be aware of my surroundings, not just where I'm at, but what's being used in that environment. As far as cleaning products, I had to switch to all natural. And I have some of the stuff that I want to show you guys. Okay, now these are all my cleaning supplies and toiletries that I make and I use myself. I make extra sometimes, and I do share with my family and friends. But this back here is all natural soap powder. It takes a lot of work to grate soap, but for me it's worth it because there's no toxins in it. I just recently made my own all-natural fabric softener sheets. I make them out of coffee filters, and even though I have to use 3 or 4 at a time, it does make your clothes smell, good. I make my own. This right here is peppermint carpet fresh, very easy to make. This right here is my berry air freshener. That's also very easy to make. Right here is all natural deodorant that I make. Men and women can use it. Again, no toxins. Everything that I make is all natural. This one is a new deodorant that I just made that has bentonite clay in it that helps you detox. It works very, very well. As soon as you start sweating those toxins out, you have to go and wash under your arms and reapply it because it's constantly pulling those toxins out under your arm. This right here is a itch relief spray, but you can use it head to toe. You can use it for your scalp. I made it as to help relieve, like when you get insect bites or something like that. but the ingredients, you can use it for your itchy scalp and stuff like that. This is 8 ounce. This is face and body moisturizer, and all natural ingredients, and I added Manuka honey to it because it has a lot of health benefits. This right here is a 4 ounce container of the face and body moisturizer. I make my own toothpaste, detoxing whitening toothpaste. Right here is my bug spray that I make. Again, all natural ingredients, works good. I be out there cutting the grass with my lawnmower and everything, spray this on before I do it, works fine. The other day, my dumb behind went out there and cut the grass, and by the time I got in the back, I realized I didn't have any on, so the mosquitoes tore me up. So I got hit. I'm having symptoms, but that was my fault because I messed up. And these are some of my masks that I wear. I always make sure I buy different kind with the carbon activation in them. Here's another one. And when I go out anywhere, as far as like public, pumping gas, I keep them in my truck. I keep them in my purse. Like if I go out and I'm around a lot of people, because moldies, as we're called, we can get hit from, plug-ins, people's cologne, smoking, whatever it is. And it's one other thing I want to share with you guys. The reason why I try so hard to educate, because like I said, no one should have to go through what I went through for as long as I did without finding help. This is one of the doctors that I saw. I think this was like my third allergist that I saw. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. I got stuck 6 times in my left arm, twice in my right arm, and then this is my back. This is the test that they did on my back. It was 73 pokes on my back. I felt and counted every one, and my son counted them too in case I wasn't counting. So altogether I got stuck 81 times. Then to find out that the testing was only for indoor modes, foods, and everything outside. Now I'm allergic to trees, bushes, grass, all of that. Only a few foods. And then like I found out, the test was only for inside moles, and my inside moles weren't that bad. So that was another red flag or alert that my symptoms were coming from the mold exposure and the mold that was found at the facility I worked at. So not only did we have the water damage and molds, but there's VOCs everywhere. And a lot of people don't understand VOCs, so that's why I wanted to do this video today, to explain it a little bit. So VOCs are volatile organic compound, which means there are solvents used in products which are emitted in the air as they perform their function. And there go my lips again. Such as paints, markers, candles, glue, that new car smell. When you get a new car and you open up the door or whatever, you get that smell. The same thing. The next time you take a cap off of a permanent marker and you get that smell, or you open up a can of paint and you instantly get that whiff, that's a VOC that you're breathing in. That's a toxin that you're breathing in. VOCs are also emitted from other things such as computers, laptops, printers, carpeting, aerosol sprays, dry cleaning, when you get your clothes dry cleaned, disinfectants, and fluorescent lighting, to name a few again. Okay, the health effects of VOCs: eye, nose, throat irritation, headaches, loss of coordination and nausea, damage to the liver, kidney, and central nervous system. Some VOCs can cause cancer in animals, and some are suspected or known to cause cancer in humans. Symptoms: conjunctival irritation, which is swollen eyelids, nose and throat discomfort, headaches, allergy and skin irritations, dyspnea, which is labored breathing, nausea, irregular blood levels, emesis, which is vomiting, epistaxis, bleeding from the nose, fatigue, dizziness, visual disorders, and memory loss. And I had a lot of those symptoms. And then it says, the ability of a VOC to cause health effects varies greatly from those that are highly toxic to those with no known health effects. As with other pollutants, the extent and nature of the health effect will depend on many factors, including level of exposure and length of time exposed. So if I was there for 14 years and they had water damage that continued, I had a lot of exposure. And with that being said, I recently went and had some work done on my car, and I had my mask on because I knew I was going into a auto repair shop. And the two young men that worked there were kind of laughing and joking because I had on all black and I had this black mask on. They joking, talking about I look like a ninja. And so, they got to asking me, why I had the mask on. So I started explaining it to them, the water damage and the mold and everything. So the youngest one, I believe they were brothers. The youngest one starts mentioning about, the symptoms that he have, and then he has this skin irritation and breathing difficulties, and he says, sometimes when he goes home, he has this moldy smell, and he was concerned because he has a 4-month-old baby at home, and he was asking me, do I think, he can have some kind of, mold exposure. So we talked about it for a little. Then they went back in the back and they left me out in the lobby by myself. So it got quiet in there because I was the only one in there. And so all of a sudden I hear drip, drip, drip. So I look up and oh my God, this is what I saw when I looked up. Let's see, it's upside down. This is the shop that they work in. The ceiling tiles are missing. There's stains in the ceiling tile from the water damage. Here's another one. Let's see. See the stains in the ceiling tile and the missing tiles? So I start having anxiety attacks because I'm like, oh my God, exposure. Even though I had 2 masks on, I'm still freaking out. So when the guys came back in, I was like, hold up, come here. And I'm like, this is why y'all sick. I said, how long has this been like that? And so the oldest one, I guess he was the manager or the owner, he said, well, it's been leaking for 3 years. I fixed it. And it started leaking again. It's coming from the air conditioning system. And I was like, oh my God, you guys don't know what's going on here, really. And I said, you need to immediately hire somebody to come in and do proper testing and remediation. I said, not only do you have water damage, you also have all these VOCs in here. I said, you got tires in here. I said, you got chemicals in here. I said, you got all this stuff that you work on cars with. That's why you guys are sick. And I said, not only are you sick, you're going to make people sick coming in here. And I could not wait. I told them, hurry up and fix my car. I waited outside until they finished. I was like, y'all do good work, but I can't come back here. I don't know if they fixed it or not, but a lot of people, they don't believe in hidden exposure. And until they, my whole thing is, why wait until you get as sick as me? Why wait until you get sick, period? Why not do something? Why not fix it? But people want to put it off because they don't want to spend the money, or they don't believe in hidden exposure. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with her. She just faking. She wants sympathy. She just don't want to work. Anybody that know me know that Pat worked her behind off. I worked so much overtime, it was ridiculous. And then when I got so sick that I couldn't work overtime, I was forced to work it anyway. So they can miss me with that, because what I did is I had to walk away from a good paying job. A lot of people, I have had coworkers tell me, I'm sorry, Pat, I can't do it. I'm not as brave as you. I got to keep working and stay sick, which is stupid, because like I tell everybody, all money ain't good money. If you drop dead or you too sick to work, that money ain't going to do you no good. And again, if I'm just lazy and don't want to work, or don't want to work there, I got wherever I work at. What my point is, wherever I work at, I'm going to need my health. Whatever I do, whether I work at McDonald's or whether I work at the forensic center, I'm going to need my health. So that's what is more important to me. And I chose my health over my job. And I'm going to spend every day, like I say, I spend every day researching, learning new stuff, sharing it. I have a Facebook blog that I'm going to put in the description, at Pat's Mold Recovery page. Wait, it's at Pat's Mold Recovery Journey page. And I share a lot of stuff that has helped me to get as far as I am now. From 2017 is how sick I was. I knew my body was in crisis. I knew if I would have stayed any longer, it meant my demise. That's how sick I was. Anytime I'm driving down the street and I stop at a light and I forget where I'm going, or I forget where I'm at. Not just where I'm going, where I'm at. It got to the point where I had to take my locks off of my phone, because if anything happened to me, I wanted somebody to be able to get in my phone and pull up my kids and my brother in case of emergency. ICE listed in my phone. My daughter or my son would come and give me a kiss and we both would get shocked. I had static electricity. And when I finally found this doctor who is helping me recover, his wife is the allergist there. And when she got ready to do the mold testing on me, soon as she touched me, we got shocked, both of us. And she said, I already know you got mold in you. And I'm like, well, how do you know already? She said, because I'm allergic to mold, and every time I touch you, we both get shocked. And sure enough, I tested positive for 9 types of mold. 2 of them that were found on my unit when they did the testing, and then 7 others. So again, I was seriously ill. And this is nothing to joke about. This is nothing to take lightly. And, the doctors tell me that, the doctor told me, it's a long road to recovery, and a lot of people give up, but I am determined not to give up. And it's going to take 2 to 3 years just to starve the mold out. And that's, everybody is going to have their setbacks. Everybody is going to cheat. And I mean, I cheat sometime on my diet. I might eat something that I know I ain't supposed to eat, but then I get right back on board the next day. And when I go to the doctor, he encourages me, keep doing whatever you're doing. He praises me. I've lost over 55 pounds. I used to work out almost every day at work on my lunch break, and I would hardly sweat. I couldn't lose any weight. I thought I was eating right, but I couldn't lose weight. And come to find out, I had such a toxin overload in my body that I wasn't sweating and I couldn't lose weight. Once I started detoxing and getting those toxins out of me, I started losing the weight. But like I said, it's a long road to recovery, but it's reachable, and I'm not giving up. I'm determined. I love life, and I plan on being around. And I believe that God put me through this to share my knowledge, to encourage someone else going through this, or just help someone, put the knowledge out there, because a lot of people don't understand hidden exposure. And I'm going to keep doing this until my last day, or until I can't speak anymore. If I can't speak anymore, I'm going to write it down and post it and share it. But I'm going to continue to get the word out about this injustice. And also, I'm going to put in the description box also my Google review on the state facility that I work at. I want you to please, 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 from me. I'm not asking for any pity. I'm not asking for any sympathy. But I want this to reach as many people as possible, because these injustices can't continue. Go on that Google link. It's under Google, and type in Center for Forensic Psychiatry, or follow that link. And I want you to watch that video, and you will know that everything I said is serious. Because if it wasn't serious, I would be behind bars right now. Because look, this was my work shirt. I got my name, I got my state emblem on it where I worked at. Everything I said about this place, if it wasn't true, I would have been locked up a long time ago. So I want y'all to help me get out there and share it, like it, and that's it. Just continue to educate. I love you all. Peace. And there will be many more of these videos to come. Thank you.